My right palm hasn't produced a single drop of sweat since that night. I'm Hitao, a 29-year-old designer working at Yihua Building on Keishan Road in Shenzhen. It's an older place from 2005, functional but heavy. One humid Wednesday, the office AC stalled at 26 degrees and the air felt like wet wool. I was stuck late finishing a restaurant poster, fueled only by a cold cheeseburger that had turned hard and tasteless. By 8:50 p.m., I finally grabbed my keys and headed for the elevators. My car was in B3, the deepest level, where the air smells like a suffocating mix of engine oil and damp concrete. When the elevator doors hissed open at B3, the lights didn't snap on like they usually do. I stood there for 3 seconds in total darkness before a flickering buzz started, a sound like sandpaper on metal, and the overhead tubes slowly hummed to life. As I walked, the lights didn't stay on behind me. They died in waves, trailing my footsteps as if something invisible was pushing the darkness forward. I tried to tell myself it was just a faulty sensor, but then the smell hit me. It was sharp and synthetic, like cheap nail polish mixed with something sweet and rotting. It was so thick I could almost taste it. Then came the sound. It wasn't a voice, but a rapid, rhythmic noise, vibrating like a cassette tape being rewound at high speed. I fumbled for my white Mazda, my heart hammering against my ribs, and locked myself inside the cabin. I shifted into reverse, and the headlights swept across the bay, catching a figure standing just 3 meters away. I slammed the brakes, the screech echoing through the hollow concrete. It was a woman in a heavy, dark coat that looked far too warm for a Shenzhen summer. She stood perfectly still until I honked. Then her head began to tilt back in a way that defied physics. Her hair didn't just fall, it drifted as if submerged in water. When her face finally came into view, my lungs seized. Her skin was the color of a bruise, and her eyes were wide, blood-red veins drowning out the white. Her mouth was stretched open in a silent, distorted wail, and I could see wet black strands of hair stuffed inside her throat. I floored it, swerving around her, but in the rearview mirror, I saw her move. She didn't run. She dragged herself across the floor with her toes hooked downward, sliding toward my car with that horrific rewinding sound. As I spiraled up to B2, the lights there were already dead. Suddenly, a frantic tap, 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 tap erupted from my roof, like a dozen fingers were trying to claw through the metal. I didn't stop until I burst out onto the neon streets of Futian. 10 minutes later, I pulled over at a convenience store, my body shaking so hard I could barely stand. I checked the roof of the car. There, in the dim light, was a damp, freezing handprint with 5 long finger marks etched into the paint. That nail polish smell was so strong it felt like she was sitting in the passenger seat next to me. I've been back to work since then, but I never stay past 5. My right palm has gone completely numb and refuses to sweat, no matter how hot it gets. The doctors found nothing, but I know the truth. Every time I smell that chemical sweetness in my office, my fingernails begin to itch, as if something is trying to grow out from underneath them. If you work in Yihua Building or park in B3 late at night, look at your rearview mirror. Check the concrete pillars for white scratch marks where someone's nails have dug deep into the stone. And if you're watching this right now and feel a sudden chill on the back of your neck, do not turn around. Some things, once they notice you, never truly leave. Do you think that woman is the employee who went missing here in 2003? Or is she something else entirely? Check your own hands right now. Is there a thin black thread tucked under your nail? If there is, whatever you do, don't pull it.
If this story kept you awake tonight, thank you for staying with me. If you felt the chill, tap the like button and let me know it got to you. If you want more stories like this, subscribe to Midnight Hollows. Every night I'll bring you another story that follows you after the screen goes dark. Stay close to the light.